So just in time for Christmas, I got a present from Baxter Tools. And I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of its use. If you're doing a lot of Christmas ornaments or things like that, I think this could become incredibly useful. It is a 1-inch cup chuck. This is a piece of ebony. Square that up in there. If I can bottom it out, I know that's going to be dead on. These pieces of ebony are fairly rough sawn, but for finial work, I think this is absolutely ideal. In fact, I may never hold a finial another way than in a 1-inch cup chuck. We'll bring up tailstock just for support for a few seconds, and I'll talk to you a little bit about the finial cutting process as I do it. This, of course, is the Heartwood Tools 3/4 inch tool rest round bar. I really like this tool rest for multiple reasons. I haven't actually put my stock tool rest back on this lathe since I got my first Heartwood Tools tool rest. So we're just very rough, and we'll go ahead and start working on creating a finial. We won't quite cut that yet. It broke. That's okay. Just a tiny bit high here. So we'll go ahead and get the live center out of the way at this point so that we can focus on our piece of ebony. Now, one thing I really appreciate about the round bar is that when I'm cutting out here at the edge, I've got plenty of space to wrap my fingers around and stabilize the end of my piece, which is important when you're getting thin. You're working very fine on that finial. All right, we've got a nice finish there. Now I need to take that down a little, so I'm going to put all the energy towards the headstock. We've got to think about our shape a little bit here. Again, very easy and convenient for me to just simply reach underneath. Stabilize that, and come back in the other direction. You can see how we're starting to get fine. I'll zoom you in a little bit. Try to do this all in one shot so you can see how the process kind of works with the cup chuck. All right, I want a little bit of a flat right here. I'm going to bring this down. I like that. I like that shape. Piece of ebony is really stable. I can't even begin to describe how stable this is. All right, we got nice sharp, crisp edges here. I think I want to give this just a little bit more of a scoop. Oh yeah, there we go. We'll come back in one more very light pass and bring that curve all the way up to the tip. Beautiful. I like that shape. Now we're going to work our way back down the stem some more. I've got a nice smooth surface. This is rough down here and that's still square. I've got a nice smooth surface, so I'm protecting my hand. And I can start to work on this shape with the neck of my finial. Very small cuts, I'm letting the tool do the work. And I am cutting uphill, but I'm really not because I'm working my way down to a thinner neck. And I think I want to take that even finer. going to be nice. It's going to be nice. Let's go ahead and start bringing this down to that dimension. Now I'm holding the gouge down. I am not pushing with my thumb. I'm just making sure that the gouge is anchored down flat on the tool rest. Take a little bit more of an aggressive cut. Again, really pushing down to show you that without my thumb in the way. But I'm stabilizing with my finger wrapped around, 2 fingers wrapped around. I can grab like this. So I really have a lot of control. But this is so stable in the cup chuck, I don't even need to do that. As long as I let the tool do the work, take my time. Oh, there was a crack in the wood. I did see that when I mounted this. There was a crack in the wood. I found it. So, beside the point, I want you to see that this is very, very clean, very smooth. It was very stable. We can simply come back a little bit, clean it up. Still use the same piece for a different finial. I was a little bit worried about the structure in this piece of ebony. Again, my thumb is just holding the tool down. I'm not putting any directional pressure. And if I feel like I'm getting vibration, all I have to do is just wrap my finger around that post, that bar. Well, definitely getting vibration trying to take a big chunk like that, but I can stabilize it. There we go. I'm just playing with shapes here. We're going to take this down a little bit, but I have an idea. All right, let's put a little bit of an OG in here. I'm working very, very small. I kind of missed my OG shape. Hang on here. There we go. Energy directed toward the headstock. Now we'll make a bit of a V-cut. And you can hear there's vibration because I'm really working across. Oh yeah, okay. We get a little bit of a hip here. And a little OG. That is very, very small. Working very, very close here. Again, getting my finger in to just provide a slight support. Half bead. Ooh, that's a fun shape. I like that. How am I going to resolve it though? Nice and clean in there. There we go. I like that. Little flat there, a little disc. Let's start building a very long cove. Seems like it might be a little bit bulky. Yeah, I think we'll leave it. There we go. We're getting thin. When my thumb is simply holding the tool down, I can do that without the thumb there, but it's when I'm wrapping my finger that feels a little unwieldy to do it without my thumb there. There we go, clean that up, clean this edge up. Join those. That still seems heavy. Now, I've got a real thin neck here, so it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to come try to cut it back unless I have a way to support it, which again, because of the round bar, I absolutely can. So I want to try to maintain that shape. We came back with our OG. We'll do one more. All right, I flubbed my form a little bit. There we go. That gave us our OG back. Lighten this up just a hair. There, so that feature, I just took it down a little. Again, plenty of opportunity for me to support it just by wrapping my fingers around the tool rest. Let's take a look. All right, I've got some chipped grain right here. So we'll clean that up. Come from behind the edge. Just like that, and then we'll come back. We establish our little disc at the base of our feature here. That feels, yeah, that's nice and clean. Really, really impressed with how much control I have, how stable this is in the 1-inch cup chuck. And again, with the ability to just wrap my fingers right around the 3/4 inch tool post. And you can do it with the 1-inch too. It's just a little bit thicker, but you can see I have plenty of room. And what I'm not doing, I'll show you why this is so much better. The standard tool rest, traditional design, I can do it, but I'm just clogged right here. I just have all this stuff in my way, where that's the first time I've put this on this lathe in 2 years. If I come in here with that, I have immense amount of capability, room, flexibility. It's just an overall improvement, especially when we're working small, when we're doing miniatures, when we're doing something kind of funky, like a little tiny ebony finial. I really, really like it. And this 1-inch cup chuck, wow. This is a 3/4 by 3/4 blank, pen blank of ebony. I use them for finials. And all I did was just use my skew to shave the corners off so I could get it in there, drove it down. It's got a very slight taper, so the deeper it gets in, the more it crushes and pinches down. And this bad boy is stable. It's not going anywhere. Impressive. Let's finish up this finial. Thanks for sticking around for a couple of minutes to watch me work small and share my my latest toy with you from Best Wood Tools. 1-inch cup chuck. This is the 6-inch, 3/4 inch tool rest bar from Bestwood Tools. Merry Christmas.